All right, guys. So I recently did a live Blu-ray collection video. If you guys haven't seen it, it's in my videos. Obviously, you can search for it. That was just Blu-rays. I never went over the DVDs. The DVDs is another story. But I figured, you know what? Let me go ahead and talk about let me show you guys my top 5 favorite zombie movies. All right, zombie movies. This is my list. You guys are probably going to be completely different with your list, but I would love to know your guys' top 5 zombie list. First off, before I want to get this out of the way, okay? Because this is a awesome movie. Love it. 28 Days Later. This is not going to make the list because I don't consider this. You guys might argue with me about this, but you guys can let me know in the comments below also. Do you consider this a zombie film? Because these characters or the people in the film do not die. It's like a rage virus. They get the blood transferred, get a bite, whatever, and then they automatically change into, it's like a rage virus. But I don't consider them zombies because they don't die. A zombie is somebody who dies and then comes back to life. You know what I mean? So I don't consider this a zombie movie, because if I did consider this a zombie movie, this would definitely make the list. So we'll put this aside. Some honorable mentions. Let's go ahead and bring out some honorable mentions. Dawn of the Dead, the remake, directed by Zack Snyder. This was a fantastic film. Great cast, great looking zombies, and just a lot. It's a fun zombie flick. Has a little bit of humor in it. I think this was Zack Snyder's first directorial debut. So I really enjoyed this one right here. So that's an honorable mention. Another honorable mention, I really enjoyed this one here. It's The Dead, directed by the Ford brothers. And you can see it says the best zombie film of the year. It was probably the only zombie movie that came out that year. But it's a really good movie. If you haven't seen it, I don't know if it's still on Amazon Prime. It was available to stream, but this is an honorable mention. This one is an honorable mention as well. I wanted it to make the list, but it didn't make the list, and that is Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead is definitely top 10, but this one did not make it. I absolutely love this film. I have it on Blu-ray. I just don't know where it's at in this mess. But yeah, this was humor, great looking zombies, and it was also scary as well. Fantastic film if you haven't seen it. Other honorable mentions is Lucius Fulci's, I think I said that name right, Zombie. I have it in here somewhere. I don't know where that one's at. If you guys have not checked out the movie Zombie, definitely recommend that flick. World War Z would be another recommendation. I don't think that would be top 10, but it'd be an honorable mention as well. Same with Zombieland. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. So number 5, coming in at number 5. Now, this one's number 5 because I'll tell you guys a reason why later. It might be your guys' number 1. George Romero's Night of the Living Dead. This is the movie that started it all, guys. It's the movie that started zombie films, man. Night of the Living Dead, definitely a fantastic film. I don't like the version where they added color. I prefer the black and white movie. And to be honest with you guys, I just watched this movie for the first time a few years ago. Recent, and I've been a zombie fan since the late 80s, so since I was a little kid. So it's really weird how I had never seen this movie. I think I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I never fully saw the movie in its entirety until a few years ago, and there's a reason for that. But Night of the Living Dead is coming in at number 5. Number 4, Day of the Dead. Day of the Dead, directed by another George A. Romero in his Dead saga. This was another great movie. You got some iconic zombies here. You got Bub. You got Frankenstein. You got Dr. Tongue right there. Just a freaking awesome movie. It's very claustrophobic. I know that I've seen the special features on this. I know the movie was supposed to be completely different, full of action, and it was supposed to take place more on land. This takes place more underground in some caves. Not a lot of action in this one. There is some gore, though. But it's more about, these military people living in the caves and trying to find survivors. And I don't want to give too many spoilers away if you've never seen the movie, but it's a really, really great claustrophobic type film. I mean, I think all zombie movies are kind of claustrophobic type, right? But Day of the Dead is coming in at number 4. Number 3, Dawn of the Dead. This is the film that introduced me to George Romero. I remember watching this in early 2000. This was I rented this back when rentals were, video stores were around where you can rent them. I rented this movie. I remember watching it and being like, holy crap, Tom Savini is insane. Like, this is when I started realizing who Tom Savini is, when I started getting more in depth with horror. I've always been a horror fan, but when in the early 2000s, I think it was, I was early teens, is when I really started digging in to the behind the scenes, the special effects and all that stuff. But Dawn of the Dead was a game changer. The zombies looked a little blue and gray in the film, but it was just an amazing, amazing flick. I know the special effects for its time were pretty crazy. Now when you see it, you might be like, I don't know about that. But I mean, still some of them are pretty nasty and pretty awesome. But Dawn of the Dead is coming in at number 3. Definitely, it's got to be in your guys' top 5. It has to be. Coming in at number 2, Tom Savini's Night of the Living Dead. Now, this is written by George Romero. This is a remake of George Romero's Night of the Living Dead, but Tom Savini directed it. I remember watching this one. Okay, I accidentally, back when I used to record VHS, you push record. I was recording a movie. I don't remember what it was, so I left the movie recording because I remember I had to go to my uncle's house. And I went back to watch the movie that I recorded. And after I was done, I wanted to see what else I recorded. I recorded this film. I think I saw this in early or mid 1990s. I was young, I know that. And this movie was just insane. I think this is Tom Savini's directorial debut. And I mean, the zombies on this look scary. Tony Todd killed it in this film, but the zombies in this were so freaking scary, and they were slow. It looked so real. It looked like an actual dead person. So this is coming in. I like this one more than the original because this is the first Night of the Living Dead version I saw. So throughout the years, I always rewatched this one over and over again. I was like, I don't think I need to watch the original, until one day I watched it and I absolutely love the original. So I actually saw this one first before the original, but this is not coming in at number 2. Absolutely love Tom Savini's Night of the Living Dead. Number 1, Return of the Living Dead. Brains. This is the first zombie movie I ever watched that I can remember. And I remember seeing this as a kid. I was very little when I saw this movie. And it used to scare the heck out of me. I remember rewatching it when it would air on TV. I think I was on cable. And then I remember renting it on VHS, owning it on VHS. This is a movie that just stood out forever, for years and years in my childhood. I used to always play with certain action figures, pretend they were Tar Man, pretend they were punkers. I remember I used to get the Donatello TMNT Playmates figure, that one that had the mohawk. I used to pretend he was Scuzz from the film. But Brains was like a signature line that we would always say as a kid. And I remember The Simpsons did a little spoof on that as well. Just a lot of cartoons have, man. This is a very memorable zombie movie. The Tar Man the zombies on this are just crazy. I mean, they run. You can't kill them. I don't want to give any spoilers away anymore, but this is one you definitely need to check out. The punkers are awesome. The gore is awesome. The zombies look great. There's a little bit of humor in it. The zombies, they freaking run in this one. I mean, nowadays zombies tend to run in a lot of the movies, but I think at this time they were mainly slow up until this movie, and when they started running, and they talked too. And they ate brains. That's all they ate was brains. But yeah, this is one that I just loved as a kid. It used to scare me as a kid, but growing up, I just absolutely love this. The music is great on this too. There's a little bit of nudity, so in case your kids are trying to watch this, you need to be careful. But yeah, this is a fantastic film. But that is my top 5 films. I'm pretty sure I missed out on some honorable mentions, but these are my top 5 zombie films. You guys in the comments below, let me know your top 5 zombie films. It doesn't have to be in order if you don't want to. I want to say this is my order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe this one will be number 2. I don't know. Actually, I think this one was number 2. Yeah, this one was number 2. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But these ones might change back and forth. But there is a lot of other zombie movies out there, so it's it's really hard to pick. But if I were to ever do a top 10, I think it'd be a little bit more easier. But yeah, let me know your guys' top 5. Thank you for watching. Also, is this a zombie movie or not? Let me know, guys. Let me know your top 5.
Believe. Awesome. Let's see. Who's gonna kill you?